and welcome back to another video. Today's a slightly different one. I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can save some money in 2022. These are all really realistic things that you can do. I know sometimes you watch videos and they say, sell your car or cancel all your subscriptions or don't buy anything at all. And to me, it's just not realistic to keep that up. Some people might be able to do that, but for us, I know we may do it for a month or two and then we'd be really bored of doing it and we'd just go back to normal. So these are things that I frequently do, and they do save us money, and they're easy for you to do if you're on a couple or if you've got a family. So just 10 simple ways, and I will share them with you, and then I'll try and link down below maybe some examples of what I've been talking about, and some of my upcoming videos will be focusing on these ways that you can save money, and some of them are to do with food or days out and things like that. So I will be sharing some more videos in the next coming weeks. So let's get started with number one. And number one is, when you go food shopping, remember to look down. They always put the cheaper items further down so that they're not at your eye level, and it may just be shifting down a brand. So if you currently buy the branded, Kellogg cereal or Heinz baked beans or whatever it might be, you might actually just try the next level down, the supermarket brand, and that can actually sometimes be half the price of the branded ones. For us, we often buy a lot of the non-branded items anyway, so I actually shift down to the value brand with some things, especially if it's things like chopped tomatoes or baked beans, things like that I might be chucking into a spaghetti bolognese or a sausage casserole or anything like that. I will shift down a brand, because if you're adding your herbs and spices and cooking it for a long time, it really doesn't make any difference. And it can be, 25p for a can of baked beans instead of 75p. And you might think 50p, but if you're buying a few cans a week over the month, that can actually save you quite a lot on your food shopping. So, and obviously there's some things that you might not want to. I don't mind supermarket beans and tomato ketchup and things like that, but I know some people say that they have to have Heinz tomato sauce and this, that and the other, and that's fine. If that's something that your family won't eat, then there's no point buying it, especially if you've got children. If they only will eat bird's eye fish fingers, or if they'll only eat Heinz baked beans, then stick with it, because there's no point buying them and putting them in the bin. And for me, it's Yorkshire tea. I have to have Yorkshire tea. No matter how much I'm trying to save on my food shopping, I will always buy Yorkshire tea. So decide what you can and can't compromise on, and give it a go and see how much you save. Number two is to meal plan and write a list. It's a really obvious one, but you might go to the supermarket and think, yeah, I know what we're having for dinner this week. And then actually you might just, especially if you're hungry, you might just see things that are on offer or you've all reduced, and you think, yeah, I'll get that. And you stick it in the freezer, but then actually you never fancy it, or it doesn't get used, or it goes out of date, or I am fond of a yellow sticker item, but I do find sometimes I go a bit crazy and get all the things that are reduced, and then actually we don't end up eating it, and it's a bit of a waste of money. So I've stopped doing that now, and I do just write my list. And also I find it easier personally to shop online, because even if you do a click and collect where you may only pay 50p or £1, what you save, because you can add to your basket. And when you say you've got a £50 budget, if you get to over £50, you can go through and think, actually we can do without that this week, we could get a few less of that, this, that and the other, and you can actually get it down to your budget. Whereas if you're going around the supermarket, unless you do the scan as you shop, you just put things in and you think, oh, that'd be about 50 quid, and actually you get to the till and it's like 70 or 80 pounds. I've done that so many times. So yeah, I would say either shop online, do scan as you shop, or if you shop the same place, you tend to know the prices, you can make your list Even places like Aldi, you can look online actually and get most of the prices now, so you could always price up your shop before you go if you didn't want to pay the £4.99 for click and collect. So yeah, I would say meal plan and write your list and stick to the list. There's no point writing a list and then going and chucking in 10 bottles of wine and you know, all the cakes and this and the other and going way over budget even though you've written a list. So stick to your list. Number 3 is on a similar vein, and that is only shop once. You can easily think, oh, I need to get some bread and milk. You pop to the supermarket and you're hungry, or you see offers and things that are calling out to you, and you can easily spend another £20–30 on top, especially if you take children with you. They always manage to see, mine are awful for seeing donuts and cakes and anything else they want, and it ends up being an expensive trip. So be realistic the first time round of how much you will need. It might be that you need to get an extra couple of loaves of bread and stick them in the freezer, or you can get some long life milk, or you could, I know some people do freeze milk. I've never personally frozen it, but I know you can freeze milk, so you might want to get one and stick it in the freezer. Or you could, you know, buy a 6 pint instead of a 4 if you tend to find that you're running out. And they often, I mean, I know they have sell by their best before dates, but actually normally milk and things are perfectly fine for an extra couple of days, as long as, you know, you check that it's fine. So yeah, be realistic. And things like fruit, you can always, and veg, you can always get some dried fruit, you know, some raisins and things for the cupboard, or some dried apricot, mango, things like that for snacks. Or you can get tinned fruit. We often like tinned peaches and things. You can get frozen veg and things, or smoothie mixes, things like that you're going to keep in the freezer, and if you run out you can always just pull them out of the cupboard or the freezer and use those instead. And actually they're really cost effective and you don't get any waste. Mine love raisins and dried mango and things like that, so I often have that a handful as a snack. So you can always use up what you've got rather than popping and buying extra all of the time. Number 4 is to bulk out your meals with vegetables or pulses, or maybe have a vegetarian meal one day in the week. Can save you quite a bit of money. Meat is very expensive now, and I know health-wise they do recommend you have a meat-free day or 2 in the week. So pasta bake is a favourite of ours, and you can either buy, you know, just the pasta bake sauce, or you can just put some chopped tomatoes and any leftover veggies and things you've got, top it with some cheese and put it in the oven, and it makes a really cheap and tasty meal. And also with spaghetti bolognese and things, I actually buy the 750 gram minces and just half that and bulk it out with some extra veg. And if you've got picky children, you can always grate your carrot and your onion and things so it goes into the sauce, or you can cook it down and blitz it. And that way they've got the veggies in there and you've bulked it out, but they're not picking out the bits of veggies. I'm quite lucky in mine do actually like the peppers and things in the bolognese, so I don't need to hide mine. But do whatever works for you, and you can always, you know, if you have chili, you could put couple of cans of mixed beans in. If you're doing a bolognese, you could put some lentils in. You could just bulk out your meat, and it's healthier, also saves you some money. So that's another great tip. Now, moving away from the food slightly, number 5 is to look for free activities for family. It may be walks in local forests or country parks. Often you just have to pay £1 or so for parking, or sometimes it's free, and that's a really way of getting out and getting some fresh air. We often go for walks because obviously we've got Duke, so we go to forests and country parks, and we're lucky enough to have some nice walks right near our house, so we do that frequently. Also, you know, there's museums you can go to for free, or sometimes a small donation. Or you can go to your local library. Mine like going and looking at the books, reading some books while we're in the library. And they often have, you know, rhyme times and things if you've got younger children, or they have activities and things out on the table, colouring and bits and bobs, and it makes a nice break but without spending a fortune. And also, if you're going to these places, you can take drinks and snacks and things with you, because I know if you go and you end up going to the cafe and getting lunch and drinks and things, you can easily spend £30 or £40. So you can always take snacks and things with you, a picnic if it's decent weather, or you can take a flask of hot chocolate and sit somewhere. You know, they always have the picnic benches under the shelters and things, so you can make a really nice day out without spending a fortune, because really it's the memories of going and having a nice time with your family, not whether you bought the hot chocolate in the cafe or whether you took it with you. I don't think if children have a hot chocolate and a biscuit or whatever, I don't think they really care whether it's from the cafe or not. Obviously in the summer you will probably go and buy an ice cream and things. And a top tip from, I think it was Mama Hedgehog's channel, said about putting hot dogs in a thermos flask of boiling water and just taking your rolls with you, and then you could just take your hot dogs out and pop them in the rolls, and then you haven't spent £3 or £4 per person for a hot dog, which I haven't tried yet, but when the weather gets nice I'm definitely going to be doing that, so thank you to her for sharing that. Number 6 is to buy toys and books and things in the sales and put them away for throughout the year. Maybe not for your family if you know you want to choose them something that they would really like at the time or something you know they want, but certainly if you've got children and they're attending birthday parties and things and you have to take a gift along, it's a really great way. Hit the January sales, buy all of those reduced toys and books and bits and bobs that are really cheap, put them away. And when your children have a birthday party or something, let them choose something out of the bag or box or wherever you're keeping them and wrap it up for their friend. And it's a really nice way of them choosing a gift for them, but it hasn't cost you a fortune. And also you can buy a box of mixed cards from, you know, the pound shop, places like that, and they can choose a card and write for their friend, but you haven't gone and chosen one for £2 or £3 every time they go to a party. And I often like to just keep a stash of birthday cards and wrapping paper and things around, pick it up from the pound shop or, you know, Home Bargains or wherever you shop, and keep it. And then you haven't got to keep popping out and buying a gift, a card and wrapping paper and adding, you know, £10-15 on to every time they're invited to a party or you've got a friend's birthday. So that's a good idea. You don't want, you know, everybody likes to take a gift along to a party, but you don't need to spend more than you have to. So that's another way to save you a few pounds. Number 7 is to shop places with rewards. I love the Tesco Club card deals because I save my points up and then we triple them for the reward days, and we either have a day out somewhere, you can put it towards zoos and wildlife parks or Legoland, places like that. So that can save you some money, especially ours like to choose somewhere to go for their birthday. So you could save up your points and save them for birthdays or summer holidays, things like that. Or you can use it for meals out. So you might, if you want to have a date night every couple of months, you might save your club card points and triple them, use them in a pub or Pizza Express or somewhere and have a nice meal out but save some money. I know that Sainsbury's do the Nectar points, so you may save those up and use those for birthday or Christmas present. If you're shopping anyway, it makes sense to do the rewards and get something back. Number 8 is to take advantage of freebies, and that might be trials. You can get the wine and beer boxes where you can get a free trial and you just pay for delivery. So you might give those a try, or you could do like the meal boxes where you get a free box or money off. So we've had HelloFresh lots of times before. I know there's Gusto and things like that. You can always try them. If you're not keen, you can cancel them. And then you've got all the recipe cards and your favourite ones, you can just go out and buy the ingredients and make the recipes at home. You can also view most of their recipes on the website. So if you fancy some of their recipes that you've seen other people cook or on the website, you can always just go out and buy the ingredients yourself. You can normally get very similar to the spice mixes and things, and you can give some different recipes a go but without paying the price tag. So that's a good one. And also you can also get trials for the children, so you can get toucan boxes, which are like arts and craft boxes. You can get a free one or a half price. and give that a try. And then if you're not keen or you can't afford it, you can just cancel it. And also you can do magazines and things. So I've currently got a free trial for Archie of the Week Junior magazine, and you get 6, I think it was either free or it was just you pay for delivery, and he got 6 of those and he's really enjoyed reading those. I think you can get the first week newspaper ones for children, and I think Lego do a free magazine that you can sign up on the website. So there's lots of freebies to have to keep the children entertained without going and buying lots of arts and crafty bits and magazines at the shop. Number 9 is to buy second hand. So if you need a Christmas jumper or whatever it might be, you can often either go onto eBay or Vinted and buy a bundle which are in perfectly good condition, because children go out of things so quickly, and you could just wash them before you wear them, and often then, or you can buy them new, sometimes with tags on. Or you can check out your local charity shop, which is a really great way of obviously saving you money but also helping out a charity. And also likewise, you can sell unwanted things. So if you've got clothes that are too small, or you bought and then you didn't wear because they've still got the tags on, you can sell those on eBay or Vinted and make yourself back a bit of money, and then put that towards something. So if you need a new coat or whatever, you can sell some bits that you don't need and put that money towards buying something new. Also a great way of clearing space, because if your house is anything like mine, your wardrobes are absolutely bulging and you need to have a clear out every now and then. So it's a good way of clearing out and making some money as well. And the last point to share with you, number 10, is don't impulse buy. Wait a week or so and think about it and see whether or not you really want that item, or if you need it. You may go through your wardrobe and think, actually I've got something very similar, or you maybe, you know, if it's a household appliance, you can maybe service it or get it fixed, or you know, just like clean the filters or whatever it might be, and think about whether or not you really need it. If it's a big purchase, you might have a member of your family or a friend, you know, who wants to share something. So you might, if you want a Vax or something like a carpet cleaner, you might be able to all chip in and buy one to share if you live locally. So think about whether or not you really need it. You may be able to borrow something from a friend, or you might be able to hire something for cheaper if you're not going to use it regularly. So really think about it. And I would also say, if you're really trying not to buy things and to do a no spend month or year, maybe consider deleting the apps off of your phone, because if you have the Amazon app or Next or wherever it is you shop and you've got the app there, it is so easy now to just click what you want and press pay, and it's done and it's delivered the next day or whatever it might be, before you've even had time to really think about whether or not you need it and you want it. So really think about your purchases. I'm not saying don't buy anything. If you want to carry on buying things, obviously that's fine, but just think about what it is that you are buying and whether you really need it, and make your purchases, you know, considered and thought through before you buy. So I hope these tips have been helpful, and hopefully if you adopt some of these, leave in the comments below if you're going to give any of these a try. And I will be doing lots more videos on family life on a budget in the next coming weeks in 2022. So I'm wishing you all a very happy new year. If you've enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks so much, guys, and Happy New Year. Bye.